And this morning, let's begin with breaking news that's coming in from the valley of a blast that's been reported inside a private vehicle. This happened in Shopian. 3 soldiers have been injured and shifted to hospital. The nature and source of the blast is yet to be ascertained. It's being investigated right now. The IGP has confirmed that. But clearly, with the intent of targeting our soldiers, this bomb was placed inside a private vehicle and went off in Shopian. Now, there is no clarity on the nature of the blast of the bomb, really, because the blast could be due to a grenade or an already planted IED inside the vehicle or the malfunctioning of a battery. Ashraf Ani is joining us with more details on this. Ashraf, what's the information we're picking up right now about this blast? We understand it happened inside a private vehicle. Unfortunately, 3 soldiers have been injured. So if you could get us details about their condition as well.
Absolutely, Angshita. This is a Tata mobile vehicle which was hired by a local army unit in Seda village of Shopian district in South Kashmir during the night. And they were going some support for patrolling, and abruptly a blast took place in the same vehicle near the battery of the vehicle and resulted injuries to the 3 soldiers who were in this vehicle. And in fact, they have been shifted to the hospital. The police sources are saying that all the 3 soldiers who got injured in this blast are stable and are being treated in the hospital. But the big question is whether it was a blast due to the malfunctioning of a battery inside a vehicle, or it was some kind of planted stick blast or ID inside the vehicle. It happened during the night, early in the morning, and now the security forces from the police and the army, and in fact from the anti-bomb squad of the Jammu and Kashmir police, are investigating the nature of blast. If it is a terror attack or a terror crime, then it will be a big challenge for the security forces, that now even that kind of capability they have achieved, where they can plant the blasts in the or IDs in the vehicles which are being used by the security forces and army in the Kashmir Valley.
Very true, Ashraf. And we're going to track the latest of the investigation. We don't know yet if this is a terror attack. As Ashraf is telling us, the blast has taken place inside a private vehicle. So they're looking into whether it was a battery malfunction perhaps, or whether this was a planted IED or grenade. So we're going to be tracking that very closely. Worrying trend if indeed this was a bomb that was planted inside the vehicle. We're all still reeling from the news that came in on Tuesday night about the death of singer KK. India Today has accessed now CCTV footage from KK's hotel, where he went right after the concert in Kolkata. In the footage, KK can be seen rushing to the hotel's lift. We're going to be playing out that footage for you in just a bit. A towel can also be seen on his shoulder. He's walking on his own, but inside the lift, the singer can be seen resting his head on the handle, taking its help as he's visibly uncomfortable.
A day after the super singer died of a suspected cardiac arrest, new images have emerged that show the last moments before Krishna Kumar Kunnath, affectionately called KK, collapsed. India Today has accessed a CCTV footage from KK's hotel, where he went right after the concert in Kolkata. KK is seen rushing to hotel's lift. A towel can be seen on KK's shoulder. India Today has also accessed a picture of KK inside the lift. The singer is seen resting his head on the handle. KK is visibly uneasy as he takes support to stand. The 53-year-old singer had attended a concert on Tuesday evening at the Nazrul Manch Auditorium in Kolkata. He performed before a capacity crowd, wildly cheering his every move. During the show, KK was seen complaining about excessive heat. KK was sweating profusely. He was soon taken out of the auditorium after uneasiness. Police sources say KK reached to the hotel at around 9:40 p.m. after the concert. Once at the hotel, KK called the reception manager and sought help as he was feeling unwell. But moments later, the singer collapsed. Hotel staff and his personal manager, Rites rushed him to the hospital in an unconscious state. The doctors declared KK was brought dead with no pulse or heart rate. The untimely demise of the singer has left the music industry and his thousands of fans in shock. KK's cremation will take place in Mumbai on Thursday. His last rites will be performed at the Mukti Dham in Mumbai's Versova. Bureau Report, India Today.
Some celebrity deaths have truly shocked the entire nation, the most recent being KK. He passed away on May 31st at the age of 53. And there are several other celebrities who've left the world early and left the world entirely shocked.
KK's sudden death has once again put the spotlight on a trend. Deaths due to cardiac arrests seems to be on the rise among celebrities who appear to be physically fit and healthy. Popular TV star and winner of Bigg Boss, Siddharth Shukla, was just 40 years old when he passed away, leaving his fans shell-shocked. He suffered a massive heart attack on September 2nd, 2021. Shukla had felt uneasy the previous night and had taken some medication before going to sleep. He did not wake up. Star Puneet Rajkumar died after suffering a massive heart attack in October 2021. Puneet was rushed to the hospital. The actor, who was a fitness maniac, had complained of chest pain and was non-responsive upon arrival at the hospital. A stressful lifestyle and erratic work schedule is something that becomes an occupational hazard for celebrities.
The Indian Heart Association does say that Indians do suffer from cardiovascular diseases 10 years earlier in their life as compared to their Western counterparts. In fact, fewer studies also show that India has become a cardiovascular issues hub, and these issues come often unannounced and without warning. Playback singer KK's death obviously puts the spotlight once again on how seriously we take our health and how seriously we take our work environments. In New Delhi, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Let's get you the latest updates on the investigation into the gruesome murder of Punjabi singer Sidhu Moose Wala. India Today's accessed now a new video of the murderers seen following Moose Wala's black Thar moments before he's shot dead. Two cars can be seen in these images cruising behind the singer's car. Both white cars, you see one Corolla and the other a white Bolero. Moments later, the singer was shot dead with 24 of the 30 bullets fired, hitting the singer alone. The Punjab police, meanwhile, is all set to take custody of Lawrence Bishnoi, who's currently in the custody of the Delhi police special cell. According to police sources, Bishnoi is not cooperating in the interrogation. Central agencies are also assisting the Punjab police, particularly with regards to hunting down and cracking down against Canada-based gangster Goldie Brar. The police has identified 3 out of the 6 to 7 assailants who were involved in killing the singer. Gangster Saraj Singh, also known as Mintu, who allegedly provided cars to the killers, has also been arrested now by the police. So people have also been divided over the last few days over Moose Wala's music. Veterans find Moose Wala's songs to promote gun violence. They say he was a rebel without a cause. On the other hand, there were several fans, youngsters, who called Moose Wala's music and songs as the music of defiance. Here's a report on the global phenomenon of aggressive rap now.
And they have inspired a debate because of their combative tone and links to firearms. Some say it promotes gun culture. Others call it the musical phenomenon of the present.
Me, I'm trying to get fat, live larger for meals.
Moose Wala's lyrics bore resemblance to American rapper Tupac Shakur, who died the same way as the Punjabi singer shot and killed in 1996.
It's nothing to do with weapons. A singer has nothing to do with these things, gangs, this, that. 8 years of my career, my father's career, my mother's career, and other singers who have been in this line for such a long time. I mean, we have never seen such a thing happening in Punjab.
पंजाब सरकार, केंद्र सरकार, पूरे इंडिया के अंदर जितनी भी लैंग्वेज हैं उनके ऊपर ध्यान दें कि जो गाने हैं वो किस तरह के चल रहे हैं. अगर नशे के ऊपर गाने चल रहे हैं, गैंग के ऊपर गाने चल रहे हैं, गन्स के ऊपर गाने चल रहे हैं या गलत वर्ड यूज किए जा रहे हैं वुमेन के लिए, ऐसे गानों को पहले सिंगरों को वार्निंग दी जाए कि रोका जाए.
To me, this angst is Punjab's resistance to its current conditions, and Moose Wala's music was one expression of this resistance. But since such music breaks predefined boundaries and traditions, by necessity it has to be irreverent.
Has come as a milestone in Punjabi music. For some, it embodies the darkest truths of modern life. Others call it a reflection of violence that the singer eventually fell victim to. Harmeet Shah Singh for India Today in New Delhi.
Singer Moose Wala has always been accused of glorifying firearms in his songs. He was shot and killed in broad daylight, allegedly by a criminal gang. India Today is now dug deeper into Punjab's relationship to gun ownership. In a state with an adult population of 2.14 crore, 4 lakh people hold active gun licenses, and each one allowed to own 3 firearms on a single permit.
A love affair with the gun. Some sold off on license. Some smuggled in from across the border. Some from Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. As a Punjabi rapper accused of glorifying firearms in his songs is shot and killed in broad daylight, allegedly by a criminal gang, India Today digs deeper into Punjab's relationship to gun ownership. In a state with an adult population of 2.14 crore, 4 lakh hold active gun licenses, and each one allowed to own 3 firearms on a single permit.
उसके बारे में पता किया जाता है. जो हमारी स्पेशल ब्रांच है उनके पास भी हम जो व्यक्ति है उसके बारे में लिख के भेजते हैं कि इसके बारे में पता किया जाए, इसने न्यू लाइसेंस के लिए अप्लाई किया है. उसके बाद जो हमारी ब्रांच में आती है, उसके बाद जो हमारी डीसीपी इन्वेस्टिगेशन है उनके पास इनकी इंटरव्यू होती है.
Data shows civilians have more licensed weapons than the number of police personnel in Punjab. 11 lakh licensed guns in a state with 80,000 cops. Muktsar, Sangrur, Hoshiarpur, Firozpur, Tarantaran and Amritsar districts have issued the maximum number of gun permits. Mausers, revolvers, rifles, pistols, pump-action guns among various firearms issued on license in the state. The procedure of gun permits involve background checks of applicants, include reports of mental fitness and no dependence on alcohol and drugs. A former DGP of Punjab, Shashikant, believes existing licenses should be reviewed and procedures tightened for gun permits. Chetan Midda owns a gun store in Punjab's Mansa. He was a friend of slain singer Moose Wala. The firearms dealer advocates tighter restrictions on firearms in order to stop them from landing in the hands of gangsters.
आजकल जो गैंगस्टरवाद है पंजाब में बहुत बढ़ता जा रहा है. तो ये जो गवर्नमेंट है वो मतलब गौर नहीं कर रही, उनको करना चाहिए, सख्ती होनी चाहिए सर ये इनके सिस्टम पे। जो गैंगस्टर के पास इतना हथियार कहां से आता है?
A number of illegal weapons also make their way into Punjab. The state recorded a 340% rise in seizures of such firearms in the last year alone. With Satyendar Jain, Manjeet Sehgal and Tanseeb Haider, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get to the big political story expected today ahead of the Gujarat election and what comes as a big setback to the Congress. Hardik Patel, who left the party, is all set to join the BJP today. After dumping the Congress, according to sources, Hardik will be donning a saffron cap today in the presence of BJP's Gujarat party president C.R. Patel. Hardik Patel's move comes ahead of the Gujarat Assembly elections due later this year. The BJP has been in power in the state for over 2 decades. In 2017, remember that Hardik had spearheaded that extremely talked about quota agitation against the BJP, seeking reservation in government jobs and colleges for the Patidar community under the other backward classes category. The then BJP government of Gujarat had also booked Hardik under several cases, including on the charge of sedition. Hardik Patel spent over 9 months in jail because of the BJP. The Patidar community constitutes about 12 to 14% of the state's population. It's a key factor in government formation. 44 MLAs in the 182 who are seated in the Gujarat Assembly actually belong to the Patidar community. With Hardik Patel joining the BJP, the Saffron Party is essentially eyeing to consolidate the votes of the Patidar community. Let's take this across to Rajdeep Sardesai. He's joining us early this morning with all the updates on this big political story. Rajdeep, good morning. First of all, what really would Hardik Patel's entry into the BJP mean in the upcoming Gujarat polls?
Well, I think Hardik Patel's entry into the BJP is yet another step in the BJP's attempt to completely monopolize the political space in Gujarat ahead of assembly elections this year. Remember, in 2017, it was the likes of Hardik Patel, Alpesh Thakur, Jignesh Mevani, who were being projected by the Congress-led opposition as the big hopes who would encircle the BJP. To some extent, the Congress was successful then. For the first time, the BJP was in double digits, less than 100 seats in a Gujarat election. This time, the BJP is hoping to break the record of Madhav Singh Solanki in 1985 when he won 150 seats out of the 182 seats. The BJP wants to have a clean sweep in Gujarat and they want a monopoly over the political space. That's where Hardik Patel becomes an important figure because the Patidar community, 16%, is critical in a way for the BJP to consolidate and thereby propel the party towards a potential 2/3 and more victory. So what role Hardik will play is uncertain. He may well have to wait his turn. For now, the party intends to use him primarily to create the perception that the Congress is finished and all Congress leaders are slowly but surely moving towards the BJP, and also ensure that that Patidar Patel vote is consolidated in Gujarat, especially among the Patel youth. So clearly a big advantage to the BJP with Hardik Patel moving towards it ahead of the Gujarat Assembly elections later this year.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the election as well. Thanks, Rajdeep, for joining us. Now, the arrest of Satyendar Jain, the Delhi health minister, in an alleged money laundering case has triggered a massive political war. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has made it very clear that he is backing Satyendar Jain to the hilt, calling the ED action against him and the case against him as farzi. You had Union Minister Smriti Irani coming out all guns blazing against Kejriwal and his minister. Smriti Irani taunted the Delhi Chief Minister with a clean cheat taunt. Here's how the war of words played out.
The BJP and Aam Aadmi Party locking horns over Delhi Health Minister Satyendar Jain's arrest. The dramatic arrest coming as a big embarrassment for the Aam Aadmi Party, which is already under fire over Sidhu Moose Wala's murder in Punjab. The BJP on Wednesday fielded its top leaders in a bid to corner Arvind Kejriwal's party, which is making a power bid in poll-bound Himachal Pradesh.
Satyendar Jain, indeed himself, is the real owner of the money laundered, amounting to 16 crores 39 lakhs. If Mr. Kejriwal does not have a copy of this court order, Karyakartas of the Bharatiya Janata Party are more than happy to send him a copy of the same.
मैं तो हमेशा से कह रहा हूँ कि वो सबसे कट्टर ईमानदार आदमी है, कट्टर देशभक्त आदमी है सत्येंद्र जैन। उनको गलत तरीके से फंसाया जा रहा है, पर कोई बात नहीं, ईडी जांच करना चाहती है कर ले, सारी जांच से साफ सुथरे निकल के आएंगे। और वो तो ऐसे व्यक्ति हैं जिस पे देश को गर्व होना चाहिए। उन्होंने देश को एक मोहल्ला क्लिनिक का मॉडल दिया।
The Aam Aadmi Party claims Satyendar Jain is being targeted because he's piloting the party's expansion in Himachal Pradesh, where the BJP is currently in power.
Does he knowingly now give patronage to those who have not only deceived the treasury, but also deceived people, to those Mr. Kejriwal says should be declared as Desh ke Gaddar? How long, Mr. Kejriwal, will this Desh ka Gaddar continue to receive your support?
भारतीय जनता पार्टी हिमाचल प्रदेश में चुनाव हार रही है और इसी के कारण से सत्येंद्र जैन की एक फर्जी बेबुनियाद मामले में गिरफ्तारी की गई है।
The Enforcement Directorate arrested Delhi Minister Satyendar Jain in a 2017 Hawala case on Monday. He has been remanded to Enforcement Directorate custody till the 9th of June. The Enforcement Directorate alleges Minister Jain received 4.81 crore rupees from shell companies. The money was allegedly transferred from a Kolkata-based firm via the Hawala route. Minister Jain allegedly used the funds to buy land and repay loans. The Aam Aadmi Party continues to deny the charges and backs its minister to the fullest. Meanwhile, the political firestorm continues to escalate. Bureau Report, India Today.